Okay, so today I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of what it is to take a course on the different areas you might study in college that you wouldn't necessarily be exposed to in high school. Some of you may have been, probably a lot of you haven't. Um, I got exposed very, very late to philosophy, and I was struck that all my life I've been thinking philosophically and didn't know it. And so I went to this fourth year course just because it fit into my schedule. And I had a couple of courses in philosophy which really weren't that philosophical. And I took the course and I aced it. And I loved it. So that's how I got into philosophy. And I wish I had found it in my first year. I really do. It was very difficult trying to catch up. So, philosophy is not let's smoke a joint, like, dude. It's not like that at all. It's a means to understand various areas of intellectual inquiry in a broader context. So, how they connect to each other, how they explain the world. For example, if you do philosophy of science, philosophers would ask, what is the nature of a cause anyway? Like, how does that happen? Or is the scientific method, does it work? So one of the puzzles that still has not been solved is the problem of induction. So why should I believe that tomorrow the sun will rise? Because it's risen every day before that. Okay, how does that apply to the future? It's the past. It doesn't. This is the trouble that they got into in the 2008 housing market crisis. Anyway, another course you might not take is economics, which I find fascinating and wish I had had a chance to explore more than I did. Other courses that you may not be exposed to are logic, critical thinking, humanities, which involves logic is basically the science of reasoning, and critical thinking is a less formal way of teaching students the science of reasoning. Humanities is a course that, well, I taught it slightly differently, but mainly it's a course where you take the classics, you learn the history of, well, for me, it was starting in 10,000 BC and ending in 1400 AD. I don't think they realized the amount of work that was. Anyway, so there's humanities. You will have a chance to be exposed to other areas in high school you may not have experienced in you may not experience, but you would have the opportunity to do so in college, would be anthropology, which is a study of various cultures from a very micro level. Or you could also do sociology, which abstracts away from their various patterns and tries to find the averages of things. So it's more mathematical, though it's not very much mathematical. Political science, where you'll find, hopefully, you will find out about the roots of the left-wing libertarian movement, which started with Marx, as well as the current understanding of libertarianism, which is right-wing. But even that is not represented in the parties that we currently have in the U.S. So that's fascinating as well. I'm an arts major. Well, I'm an arts student, arts person. So there's fine arts. You've probably been exposed to that in high school. There is different sciences. Well, they're not really different sciences, but you go further up, obviously, in the different sciences. So, for instance, in mathematics, once you get at the very top level, it turns out that there's something called topographical mathematics, which involves figuring out the space of the world and how mathematics relates to it. So, sounds fascinating, huh? Try to, as much as you can, I know your parents may not be happy about this because it costs money here so much. Try to expose yourself to as many areas as you can, okay? Because you don't want what happened to me to happen to you. All right. And so that's what my course will be about, and we'll just take each topic and go over the basic outlines of what a first year course in that might look like.